Welcome to Martini Time, my favorite time of the day. I've had a busy day today. I've been writing on Facebook since 8 o'clock this morning. My butt's tired. Think I'm addicted to it? So, what? I discover a lot of ideas in my Facebook writing. It's very creative for me. I don't chit chat. I get into dialogues where I discover ideas and new insights. So it's very energizing. So it just keeps me going. But let's talk about something that's in the news today, which is Roy Moore. We're waiting to see what's going to happen in the Alabama election. It's very exciting. But let's put on my favorite lens. I'm a photographer, a retired photographer, and the best lens is a wide-angle lens. So let's look at the wide angle here, because we get very confused by just putting on a narrow lens when we watch the news. We don't see the context. We don't see the wider angle. We focus in on this or that, and we like this and don't like that, and we can't understand why they don't like this when I like it. It's so clear. Why do they see the other side and they can't see what's so clear? They can't see clear and distinct ideas. They can't see the truth that I see. But when we feel that, you see, we still have another lens to go. We need to put on a little wider angle lens to include both the two faces, the either or face that we see, the good or the bad more. What's the understanding behind it? What's the understanding that holds both, you see? The good and the bad more, the good and the bad trump, you see. We say he's good, you say he's bad. I say he's bad, you say he's good. What holds them two? What holds the both? There's the truth. There's the insight, the understanding. It doesn't mean you can't choose between one or the other, but you need to do it with understanding, which gives you compassion. It doesn't mean you don't have values. It just means that you choose your values with compassion and understanding, you see. So let's take a look at the wider angle here about moor. It's an interesting name. Moor. Now, Moore is you could say he is a surrogate of Trump. He's like the Trump of Alabama, you see. So we got to understand Moore, you have to understand Trump. Now then you can understand, get a wide angle here, and if you look down on America, as if you were looking down on a weather map, you would see this storm. Has an eye in the middle of it, and it sweeps everybody up into it, you see. We call it a hurricane. But if you look at the world now as social media ocean, we're all on Facebook and internet and TV and social media. If it weren't for that, we'd just be living in our house, wouldn't know anything. So we're all in this ocean together. We can see these storms going on, as you see. And a storm has to have an eye. You cannot have a hurricane or a tornado without an eye, because the forces go around it, you see. And that eye is either going to generate energy and get bigger, or it's going to be like a whirlpool in a tub, and it gets smaller until it just disappears. So it's going to generate and get bigger, or it's going to begin to attract and go down the drain, which is kind of like a black hole. Where did it go? Where does the water go in a whirlpool? I don't know. You see, it goes like a black hole in space. It just disappears. So it's either increasing or decreasing. Okay, that's one way to look at it. So now the other thing is modernity. Hard word to say. Modernity is the liberal, secular, rational civilization that we are living in Western Europe, that was created after the Middle Ages. It created the scientific method. Scientific method created all the comforts we have now, you see. All the comforts, everything you're looking around here is all created by the scientific method. You create stuff with it. You change things with it, you see. It's magic. We love it. But it creates, it's created democracies. It created capitalism. Capitalism, democracies, secularism, liberalism, they all go together. They all work together, you see. So this sea of secular capitalism is missing one thing: value and identity. In the sea of modernity, everybody's just floating around. There's no center. There's no feeling of me, that I'm important, that I have value, that I have power, that I have meaning, that I have a religion. All these things, you see, give me a center. So I yearn for a center. Now, capitalism and secularism says the ego is the center. That's the center. It's a portable ego, portable Bible kind of, you know. It's got a portable God, our little ego. That's who you are. But then what is the purpose of our ego? Well, in our in the world now, the purpose of our ego is to buy more stuff. How much more can you get? That's what it's all about. And we find that's kind of meaningless, especially if the economy shifts so I don't have any money to buy any more. If I don't have money and power to buy more, I feel like I've lost my center. I've lost my purpose. So now I've got to find it. And it's going to be external to me. So I need to find a center, a false idol, a tent pole. I need to find a lighthouse. I need to find a mooring. I need to find a piling upon which I can moor my ship so it doesn't get sucked out to sea in this current of modernity and meaninglessness, you see. So I got to moor myself to something. And the more people I can get to moor to that lighthouse or that piling, you see, the more secure it feels. So Trump is like a piling, a center, a post in the middle of a turbulent sea. And if you moor your ship to that, you see, you're going to move around and around that Trump. And he's going to give you a feeling of center, power, justification, righteousness, and meaning, you see. And the more people that go around it, the more meaning and power you feel. It's a feeling center. But you've given your individual center, which you felt was nothing, you gave it to that. And the more people that gives its power to that center, the more powerful not only you feel, but the center feels more powerful. He's got charisma now. He's got charisma because all the people have given him their power. That's what charisma is. Somebody who exudes power. But where does that power come from? People gave it to him. So he reflects it back. So it becomes a give and take thing. You give me your devotion, I give you back the feeling of power. But you got to be loyal to the center, you see. And so now Moore is kind of like an Alabama Trump. The evangelicals down there, gravitate, and I love them, evangelicals. They're good Christian people, but they've got their center misplaced. Politics has taken their center from the transcendent God and stuck it on a political God. So now the evangelicals are trapped into rotating around a political idol, the Republican president. So they have to keep electing their God, the Republican president, under the belief that he'll bring the promised land. The kingdom of heaven will be brought, and all of your problems will be gone. So it's kind of like a misplaced heaven, you see, into a political field. And as long as the Republicans can keep that myth alive, they're going to keep people voting for the Republican center. And Moore is just a mooring, you see, to a surrogate Trump. And when you moor your identity to a false idol, that false idol, as long as he appears to be strong, can have many sins. It doesn't matter if he's pervert or what, you see? My God, right or wrong? Because for me to let go of that, I have to let go of myself, and I'm set adrift into the chaos again, you see. So they'll hang on to that thing, even though they'll hang on more to that post, even though it begins to be rotting, you see. They'll cling to it. Because drifting into the sea of change with no center, no power, no hope, no dreams, no meaning, no God is worse than having a corrupt, false idol. Thanks for dropping in.